Leafs Nation, are you still reeling from the seismic shift of Mitch Marner's departure? Are you wondering if the front office truly understands the monumental task of replacing that kind of offensive firepower? Because if the latest whispers from the heart of the NHL insider world are any indication, the Toronto Maple Leafs are not just aware of the void. They are actively, aggressively, and intelligently pursuing the layers of production needed to fill it. The question isn't if they'll add more offense, but who and how. And right now, one name is emerging as a surprisingly compelling answer: Jack Roslovic. A week into free agency, when many of the big fish have already been reeled in, it would be easy to assume the Leafs might be content with their current roster adjustments. But according to NHL insider Elliotte Friedman, that couldn't be further from the truth. Toronto is still very much in the hunt for another forward, and the focus has reportedly landed on the 28-year-old center, Jack Roslovic. This isn't a flashy, blockbuster name that will dominate headlines, but it's a move that speaks volumes about the strategic thinking now at play within the organization. It's about finding value, consistency, and a player who can genuinely contribute to the collective effort of replacing a generational talent like Marner. Let's talk about Jack Roslovic. He's a player who, perhaps, hasn't always garnered the spotlight, but his production speaks for itself. Last season, with the Carolina Hurricanes, Roslovic tallied an impressive 22 goals, matching his career high. For a team like the Maple Leafs, desperately needing to inject more scoring punch and depth into their lineup, a consistent 22-goal scorer is far from insignificant. This isn't a player with massive, untapped growth potential. At 28, he's largely a known quantity, but what he offers is a reliable, top-9 forward who can provide offensive stability. He's a center by trade, but versatile enough to play on the wing, offering Craig Berube the kind of flexibility and options that are invaluable over an 82-game season. The departure of Mitch Marner leaves a gaping hole, not just in terms of raw points, but in playmaking, defensive responsibility, and leadership. No single player, especially not one available in the later stages of free agency, is going to step in and replicate Marner's unique skill set. The genius of the Maple Leafs reported approach, however, lies in understanding that you don't replace a Marner with one player. You replace him with layers of production. You bring in multiple pieces that, collectively, can absorb the offensive burden and contribute in different ways. Roslovic, with his proven ability to find the back of the net and his experience playing in various roles, fits perfectly into this philosophy. He adds a crucial layer of offensive depth, ensuring that the scoring doesn't dry up when the big guns aren't on the ice. Consider his journey through the league. Drafted by the Winnipeg Jets, he spent significant time there before trade sent him to his hometown Columbus Blue Jackets. After a stint in Columbus, he moved to Carolina, where he truly found his stride last season, culminating in that 22-goal performance. This isn't a player who's been handed everything. He's had to work for his ice time and prove his worth in different systems. That kind of resilience and adaptability is exactly what a team like the Maple Leafs needs, especially under a new coaching staff that demands accountability and effort from every player. He's got the offensive instincts, the puck skills, and the shot to be a legitimate threat. And in a system that emphasizes forechecking and getting to the net, Roslovic could thrive. Furthermore, the timing of this potential acquisition is telling. We're past the initial free agency frenzy, meaning the market has cooled, and players like Roslovic might be available at a more team-friendly price. This aligns perfectly with Toronto's need to manage its salary cap carefully, especially after the significant investments in their core players. Securing a player of Roslovic's caliber, a consistent 22-goal scorer, without overpaying, would be a masterstroke of general management. He's arguably one of the best remaining unrestricted free agent forwards on the market, which means the competition for his services is likely still present, but the Leafs seem determined to make a strong push. The strategic thinking behind prioritizing Roslovic before potentially exploring the trade market is also incredibly sound. By attempting to secure a player like Roslovic first, the Maple Leafs can get a clearer picture of their roster and cap situation. If they can add a reliable top-9 forward through free agency, it reduces the pressure to make a rush trade. It allows them to assess what other pieces they might need, whether it's more grit, another playmaker, or defensive depth, and then approach the trade market with a more precise objective. This measured approach ensures they don't overpay for assets and can make informed decisions based on the exact needs of their roster. It's about building a complete team, not just chasing the biggest names. Imagine Roslovic slotting into the Leafs' middle six, potentially playing alongside a player like John Tavares, or even providing depth at center if needed. His ability to score and make plays would immediately bolster a lineup that, while still boasting elite talent, needs more consistent secondary scoring. He's not going to be the flashiest player on the ice, but he's the kind of player who quietly puts up numbers, makes smart plays, and contributes to winning hockey. This is the kind of acquisition that doesn't grab headlines but wins games. It's about adding proven, consistent production to a team that needs it more than ever. The Maple Leafs are clearly signaling that they are not satisfied with just making a big move like the Marner trade. They are committed to building a deeper, more resilient roster capable of sustained success. Chasing a player like Jack Roslovic in free agency, even a weekend, demonstrate a proactive and intelligent approach to roster construction. It's about finding the right pieces at the right price to complement their existing talent and address their most pressing needs. This isn't about replacing Marner with another Marner. It's about replacing his impact with a collective effort, and Roslovic could be a crucial part of that equation. So, Leafs Nation, what's your take on this potential move? Does the idea of adding a consistent 22-goal scorer like Jack Roslovic excite you, especially as a piece to help offset the loss of Mitch Marner? Do you think this is a kind of shrewd, under-the-radar signing that could pay huge dividends to the team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe the Leafs are on the right track by pursuing these kinds of players, hit that like button to show your support. We want to hear from you.